It seemed like a nice party at first, but murder? It has a way of killing the mood. It was just supposed to be a fun night. My wife, her friends, festive times. Instead, somebody wasn't feeling the Christmas spirit. I may have been off duty, but a cop is always ready for action. It's true. Teddy Hamilton's dead.
My goodness, how could such a thing happen? Well, so much for peace on Earth.
How did it happen, Detective? Somebody set up a trap for him. They made sure he ran into a few knives in the hallway. Should we call your station? I tried. The phone lines are down. Not that it matters. Why? I looked out the window. Too much snow for anybody to get anywhere. Just great. We're trapped with a murder on our hands. Sounds familiar. Kinda like how I met you when there was a murder on a train. What is it with you? It's like you attract murder everywhere you go. Don't be dramatic, Charlie. Your life is homicide. No wonder we're a perfect match. What do we do now, Detective Gable? Stay calm. I'll ask some questions for everybody. But first I gotta talk to Lise. You know these people. Give me the rundown. If I know them, maybe I'll know who did it. Dame Vera Ludwig and Sir Reginald Ludwig. They're the ones throwing this party. She's big in the fine art circuit. No one knows how she gets all those paintings for the museums. He has multiple businesses all over, worth millions. Officer Julian Keene. He was in the military, but he runs his own shipping company now. He works with Dame Ludwig for the museums. The Dame's grandson, Rupert Ludwig, and his fiancée, Alexandra Lee. Alexandra is a famous model. Rupert just came back from Africa. He's been gone since he was a child. The sad story is that he had an accident, complete amnesia before a year ago. Hubert is the butler. I don't know much about him. He hasn't been here long. As you know, Teddy Hamilton was the family lawyer. Lawyers learn all kinds of secrets. Maybe he was blackmailing somebody and they were fed up with it. Any skeletons in any closets you know about? Not really. I only know the Ludwigs through the Art Society. We gotta keep our eyes open and our ears ready.
I have it, okay?
Did you hear that? Please be quiet. Or that. Sounds like we got some people coming. You stay here and listen in somehow. I'll go talk to the others. Then, we'll meet back up. Sounds good. Be careful, Lise. There's still a killer on the loose. It's awful, Teddy's dead. But at least it gives us some breathing room.
I got the papers from his office. Now no one will know about the boats.
Good. We have the new shipment coming in by the new year.
The new curator is too curious about the paintings. I think he might have an idea about what we're doing.
It's too bad he can't disappear too. Hello there. Detective Gable, what are you doing? Dancing?
You're dancing?
But there's no music, and you're on your own. My wife's in the powder room. Figured I'd warm up for the next go-round.
Looks like you need a partner.
Sure. Why not?
How are you enjoying the party, Detective?
It's not too bad, except for the whole murder thing. Did you know Mr. Hamilton?
I did. I didn't like him. Too nosy.
Nosy how?
He liked to put himself in the family's affairs. He was closest to Rupert lately. I think it was about joining the law firm or something.
Was Rupert interested?
Why would he be? He's partner in the family business. Do we have to talk about this? Can't we just dance?
Not for long. My wife should be back from the powder room soon.
You know, I was going to powder my nose earlier. Rupert told me to use the bathroom upstairs. If I hadn't listened, I would have walked into that trap.
Funny. Glad you avoided it.
You're so nice. Want to slip off somewhere?
Wouldn't your fiancé mind?
Who cares what he thinks? We aren't married yet. I have time for fun.
Good for you. I have a wife who'd make me as dead as Mr. Hamilton if I danced with you much longer.
Fine. I don't need you for a good time anyway.
I have the money you gave me. I told you and told you.
Don't talk to me that way, Hubert. Remember who I am? And who you are?
Yes, sir. I have it stuffed in my mattress.
I'll use that to pay off the shark. Without Teddy to threaten me, the secret stays with us.
What will you tell Dame Ludwig if she asks where you've been going every Thursday?
I'm not sure yet. Just stop dropping me off outside the club. I don't want anyone to identify the car. I'm going to count the money. You stay here. The help isn't invited to parties.
Yes, sir. That shady rat.
I have to tell Charlie about all this. Hubert.
I can't stand this place, Alex.
I know. Don't worry. We'll run after I get Rupert's money.
And Mr. Hamilton won't tell anybody now that he's gone.
Oh, Huey. I love you so much. I'm so glad that our secret is safe now. No one in the world knows. Psst, Charlie. Psst, detective.
Lise?
I'm in the tree.
What a clever disguise. I'm sure no one noticed a walking tree.
Oh, just be quiet and follow me to the corner.
Well, what does my darling Pine have to say?
Hubert and Alexandra were kissing. They're having a full affair and plan on running off with the family money.
That isn't surprising. She told me she didn't need me for fun, so she must have meant she has Hubert. I believe Dame Ludwig and Officer Keene are getting paintings illegally.
Makes sense. Sir Ludwig has a serious gambling problem, if I understood his talk with Hubert right.
And Mr. Hamilton knew all this. He knew it all. So it could be anyone. We still have to talk to Rupert Ludwig. Come on, and leave the tree. Mr. Ludwig.
Detective Gable and Lady Lise.
We saw you on your own over here. Thought we'd say hello.
That's thoughtful of you. Alexandra's off somewhere. The ladies' room, I'd assume. It's a real shame about Mr. Hamilton.
Did you know Mr. Hamilton well?
No, not really.
When I talked to your fiancée, she said he was close to you.
Well, he offered me work. I didn't know him before a year ago. Even if I did, I can't remember the past. A head injury.
I heard about that. Must be good to have family take you in.
Oh yes, they've been wonderful. I wouldn't have a thing if it weren't for them.
Your grandparents are lovely. Where are your parents?
Gone, I'm afraid. My grandparents said they were lost in the jungle a few years back.
How horrible. Do you have any ideas about why someone would want Mr. Hamilton dead?
I don't. I'll leave that guesswork in your capable hands, Detective.
Thanks. I'm working on it.
I'm sure you're doing a swell job. I admire police officers. I really wanted to be one when I was a kid.
How wonderful. Darling, how about a dance? You read my mind. Thank you, Mr. Ludwig. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I do believe so. Should we do it now? Why not? Everybody get in here. I have an announcement to make. I know who the murderer is. We know who the murderer is. Yeah, we know. Dame Ludwig and Officer Keene. What? Us? You two are involved in illegal activities and Mr. Hamilton knew about it. He threatened you. You wanted him gone. We didn't do it.
We did not.
You're right. You didn't do it. But Alexandra,
Me?
you're having an affair with the butler. You only want this family for money. Mr. Hamilton caught you and Hubert in the act and threatened to tell everyone. You couldn't have that, could you?
It's true, but I didn't kill him.
We know you didn't, and neither did Hubert. But Sir Ludwig, you had quite a motive, didn't you? I heard you gamble. Must have lost a lot of money that way. You didn't want Dame Ludwig to know. You were hiding it from her. But Mr. Hamilton knew. He was going to tell Dame Ludwig everything.
They're right.
I gamble.
I'm ashamed.
I am.
But not enough to kill.
I know it wasn't you, said Ludwig. Rupert, he's the murderer. Me. But I don't have a motive. You do have a motive. You're not Rupert Ludwig. You're an imposter.
An imposter?
Not my grandson.
He's not worth any money?
The first clue was the Miss Alexandra Lee told me how Rupert told her to go to the ladies' room upstairs. If he hadn't, she would have been the one to die in that trap. He had to have known that. Then the amnesia storyline. Talk about a perfect way to excuse not knowing a thing about the family. If he really had amnesia, he wouldn't have just told me about how he remembers he wanted to be a cop when he was a kid. And just think about it. You hadn't heard from Rupert or seen him since he was a kid, and his parents died before he came here, so how can you really know that this man is, in fact, the real Rupert? That's right. Mr. Hamilton was close to this imposter. I'm guessing he figured out the truth. Mr. Hamilton was going to reveal this man to everybody here tonight. That man set a trap and waited. After all, he'd lose everything if anybody found out. What do you got to say for yourself? Listen, I had nothing in Africa. Rupert and I met at a bar and talked all about how he was coming here and how nobody had seen him for over 20 years. I needed out of my own life. Stupid Teddy knew something was wrong from the start and finally figured out my documents are fake. I couldn't let him talk. I couldn't.
What have you done with Rupert?
Well, I didn't know that he couldn't swim.
You've got to arrest him.
But Grandpa, we've had such good times.
Don't call me that.
Lock him up in the parlor. Will do. Do I still get presents this year? Come on.
It's wonderful the phones were fixed so soon and the road opened.
Yeah, strange, isn't it? Kind of like someone wrote it.
Thank you for attending and all of your help.
Of course. It was our pleasure.
About what you learned tonight about the rest of us.
I didn't learn a thing. Did you, dear?
Nothing at all. How kind of you. We're having a lovely gala on New Year's Eve. Would you like to attend?
We better not. Somebody else will probably die.
What?
My wife is a death magnet. Look who's talking. Good night, Dame Ludwig.
Good night. Will that awful man pay for what he's done?
Prison isn't an easy ride. I can tell you that. Good night, Dame Ludwig. And Merry Christmas. There's got to be a way to get out of this cell. I can't take it much longer. I can't handle being in the cell with these idiots. Oh, 1,000 bottles of eggnog by the fire. 1,000 bottles of eggnog. Take one down, pass it around. 999 bottles of eggnog by the fire. Come on, everybody, sing. Oh, 999 bottles of eggnog by the fire. 998 bottles, take one down, pass it. Somebody please make this stop. Make it stop, make it stop. 998, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, we gotta make it stop. Yeah, we did. Okay. Do it again. Yeah, okay. Oh, 1,000 bottles of eggnog. What did I get myself into? 1,000 bottles of eggnog. Take one down, pass it around. 999 bottles of eggnog.